Hello and welcome to I Am Geek, and this is episode 212. I'm Ryan, joined by my brother Chris, and our good pal Katrin, and Ray Chase is
Hello.
back here with us. You heard him last week. He's back here again because all these shows are coming to an end. And if we're going to do a review, a roundtable, of shows that we've watched, the seasons are wrapping up. So if we're going to do a roundtable, Ray has to be here.
It's okay, Katrin. They will be back.
This is just the rule.
These are the last shows?
No.
End times.
The shows that we've been watching. The seasons are wrapping up.
That's it. It's a nice round number to call it quits.
Yeah. So last week we had Star Wars Visions, which go back and listen to that if you haven't, because Ray dropped some animation knowledge. And Chris agreed with him.
I was so drunk on that show, I had no idea.
And I just agree with everything that Ray said.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
And this week we're doing another animated series that we have both animator series, so Katrin and I can just sit back, relax, and let them critique it. Right?
Well, I mean, Ray and I did enjoy the show, so.
Sing!
Anyways. So we're going to do Marvel What If tonight. Before we get to What If, I thought we'd do a little bit of news.
Ooh.
Maybe a little bit of what you're streaming.
This just in.
There wasn't that much news this week, so
Slow news week.
slow news week. But there was a Hawkeye trailer that dropped today, which was pretty much the trailer that we've already seen
With less shots.
with less shots.
And a tiny bit more of the Broadway show.
Yeah, I want one episode just to be the Broadway show. Just him sitting in the audience, Hawkeye, watching the show. And every once in a while, just pans to him, and he gives this look to the camera like, I don't know.
That's not how it happened.
They did, if anybody's a Avatar: The Last Airbender fan, there was a whole episode near the end of that series that they went to a stage play of their lives.
Oh.
As they were on the run, and it was actors doing horribly, like reproducing basically the whole first season of Avatar, and it's hilarious.
Oh, wow.
Oh my. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to Hawkeye. I've been looking forward to this one a while.
I think it looks fun.
Yeah, November it starts. First 2 episodes dropping later November, like the 23rd or 24th.
Thanksgiving, over Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Has a Die Hard feel to it.
Has a LARPing section.
Yes. What's up with that?
Looking forward to the LARPing.
It's gonna be interesting. But that will be the next Marvel show, I guess. Right? I still haven't watched Black Widow.
I haven't either.
Why?
We were going to.
Yeah, I just haven't had a chance. I still haven't watched The Ten Rings.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. I'm waiting for the Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Which is soon. I think it's like November 12th? Maybe?
Right.
Oh,
That-
wow.
It's like,
That may
it's
be
like the Disney Plus Day or whatever, where they drop a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Jungle Cruise the same day, I think, right?
Yeah, Jungle Cruise will drop
Right.
then.
Yeah.
I think I've already been spoiled by the end credit scene for that one.
Oh,
For the
don't
Jungle
spoil it for the rest of us.
No, for Ten Rings.
Oh.
Like somebody just posted it, basically. A picture
Saw
of
Wonder Woman show up.
How did you know?
Now there's 12 rings.
No, they melt them all down into one ring.
To rule them all.
Yeah, and then Frodo comes in, takes it, goes on a long journey. But this time, the eagle picks him up at the beginning, takes him the whole way. So it's really short. The movie's really short.
Really. Another Marvel one-shots that they haven't done in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways,
Another What If episode.
since it's Halloween season, I did another trailer drop this week. It's called The Black Phone. That popped up on my YouTube feed. Starring Ethan Hawke. Remember him?
Yeah.
He's still around. It's creepy looking. It's like a mix between it and Chris. I told Chris this the other day, and we still haven't remembered the name. The I See Dead People movie.
The
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you said icy.
The Icy Dead People.
Icy
That
Dead
was
People.
Game of Thrones, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
So
was.
Sixth Sense and it is sort of like a weird mashup. I think it looks creepy.
I See Dead Clowns.
Yeah. There's no clowns in it, but he's like a magician that kidnaps children.
High phone bills.
Yeah. So if you wanted something spooky to watch, you can watch the trailer. I don't know. It doesn't come out till like January. I hate when they do that, like Halloween type movies, and then they bring them out like in January. It's just like, eh.
Yeah.
And I think Halloween Kills is on Peacock now. I think.
It's on Peacock, and yeah, it comes out to theaters this Friday.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for that sequel. I liked the last one.
I did like the last one, but I thought it ended really well.
It did. It ended really well, but they got 2 more movies.
Yeah.
There's more money to be made.
Trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, yes, there was a trailer for Home Sweet Home Alone.
All I saw was the picture, and I was like, no.
The boys British, I guess, or half
Yeah,
British.
the mom and the kid are British.
And the dad's not.
The dad is
completely
like
different then.
Yeah.
The weird comedian that does the Batman and impression.
Yes, Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes, yeah.
And
is he one of the burglars?
No, he's the dad.
He's the dad, I think.
The burglars are this husband and wife.
What?
And they're like, I guess they've never done this before, and they're like, oh, we can do it. There's nobody home. And they're all nervous about breaking in.
I gotta look it up. Yeah, the burglars are Ellie Kemper.
Yes.
From The Office, and Kimmy Schmidt. Randomly, that seems so weird that they picked her. And then Rob Delaney, who was in Deadpool 2. He was Peter, the average guy.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah. He dresses up as Santa Claus to break in. And so it was on the trailer, and my kids were like, why is he beating up Santa Claus? And I'm like, oh no, that's a robber dressed up as Santa Claus.
Haven't they sort of like already like rebooted this like once or twice?
Oh,
already?
50 times. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, okay, sure.
It's Disney Plus. You know Disney. That's the one thing that he loved. Sequels. He said, I can't wait for all my movies to have sequels. Actually, he said the opposite. He said, I will never make a sequel to any of my movies.
This is a Fox movie.
Well, yeah, but now they're owned by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, because it's on Disney Plus, Disney loves sequels.
Yeah.
But
even though
he was making a joke, Chris.
What? Ryan doesn't make jokes.
I'm very serious.
But Buzz from the original movies
yes,
is in it.
He's a police officer.
Police officer.
Yeah, I won't be watching.
We're gonna have you on for a roundtable discussion.
I know. You will have to lie to me, and then I will come on, and then I'll just mic drop, throw my headphones down. I'm out of here.
The kid that they got for the movie though to play the main character, I do like him. He was in the Jojo Rabbit movie.
Oh yes.
He did a good job in that.
Yeah, he did a good job in that. Oh, and Scream 5 trailer came out. So we got another Scream.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the same movie. I mean, I like the Scream movies, but it's the same cast pretty much.
Yes. Well, the 3 main cast.
Yeah. The same ones that are still alive, basically. It's the cast that are still alive.
Wow.
From the other movies, because a bunch of people got killed.
Life,
not in real life, like in the movie.
Yeah, Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette.
You think that they would just be gone? Like, I'm moving to Europe or somewhere, never coming back.
Well, I think based on the trailer, it seems like Nev Campbell's character, Sidney Prescott, has left town, and it seems like Dewey may be the only one still in town.
Yeah.
And when things start happening, he calls her and like, Sid, it's happening again.
And if I was Sid, I'd be like, "Oh man,
Good luck to you.
I gotta wash my hair tonight."
Because yeah, it does seem, at least by the trailer, it seems like it has nothing to do with her character. She comes back to town to kind of help.
Yeah. But then the Scream guy sees her and says, "Oh yay, the original person. So glad you're here, so I could kill you."
Honor, Sydney. It's an honor.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Who could it be? Who's it going to be? You got to make your predictions now. Who the Scream Killer is going to be?
I think it's gonna be
He's going to
Amber Freeman.
Probably so. I think that's the person who probably dies in the very trailer. In the trailer,
Probably.
He's got more technology. He got the technology now because he can unlock and lock doors with his phone.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. So.
Ripped from today's headlines.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. I think that's. Oh, what you streaming? I thought we'd do this at the beginning of the show this time.
Oh,
because people are missing this part.
People are missing this part. Usually we do it at the end. So if you don't listen all the way through, then you're missing out. Watch a streaming is a segment where we talk about
what
you're streaming.
What you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
We could call it what you're watching, but that'd be weird.
Who you watch?
Who you watching?
You watch.
I mean, I watched. I think everybody's watched it. The Muppets Haunted Mansion. We talked a little bit about it, but we never talked about it after we watched it. I don't think.
I have not watched it yet. I'll watch it this weekend.
I did. Yeah, I will say, yeah, without giving you spoilers or anything, I enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah, it was good.
Excellent.
Yes, it had Haunted Mansion royalty in it. Did you catch that?
I don't know if I got that.
Oh, was it Irvine?
No. It was the daughter of Leota Toombs.
Irvine.
Oh,
Yeah.
Madam Leota.
Her last name's Irvine. I forget.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just remember Toombs.
Yeah.
That's her mom's.
I think she plays Madam Leota
now.
in the Halloween.
Yeah.
Or the Jack.
She's the maid that sort of pops up randomly.
Oh yeah. Okay. I did see a clip and I saw her in it. And I was like, oh, hey.
I was excited to see her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I forgot her last name was Irvine now.
Because it seemed like it was somebody when she popped up.
Yeah. But it was good. My daughter will not watch it again though.
Oh,
because we keep wanting to watch it. And she's like, I don't like it when they turn the lights off. And I'm like, I can fast forward through that part. No. Yeah. So I don't know. Anyways, it was good. And then I also watched, like everybody else. Yes, Kim Irvine. Yes, Kim Irvine. I'm just familiar with her mom's name and I always call her Toombs. I watched the Squid Game. I was one of those people.
Oh, okay.
It was good. It was really good.
Good?
It was really
on the fence. Yeah, okay.
I wanted to see what it was all about. So I was like, well, I'll put the first episode on while I'm doing some other stuff. And I was impressed. So I just kept watching it. And the overdub into English, they did a really great job with it. Mm-hmm. You know, it wasn't like, you know, the old movies where their mouths move and then, you know, then you hear what they say. It was all synced up really well. It was really good.
Were the effects good? Were the squids believable?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
What game were they playing?
Realistic.
It's, you know, it's not a family-friendly movie or I mean TV series whatsoever.
I watched the trailer and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
It seems very friendly. The kids are not in the room.
But they did a good job with it. I can understand why it's a big hit right now. I was impressed. So watch it before there's spoilers, because it's one of those shows that has some mystery to it, and you don't want
mystery spoiled.
Yeah, you don't want it to be ruined. Shh, Chris.
What? I was watching Clue.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. Anyways, so yeah, check out the Squid Game. I liked it. Katrin, what you been streaming? Anything?
We are going through a Halloween Town marathon.
Ooh, we did that the other day.
Yes.
Or it was a couple days. It wasn't all one day.
Yeah, it's one of the cheesiest Halloween movies out there.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It's not meant to be serious, but we enjoy it. So I don't remember watching the high school one or the one that came out last year, because there was one that I believe it came out last year, Return to Halloween Town, where everybody's older.
Was it last year, really?
The recent years, I think.
Well, they changed the actress,
Yeah,
which was weird
I'm sure.
because she doesn't look anything like the original. Like anything. It's like,
Oh.
did she use a spell on herself because she's a witch to transform her?
Why not?
I saw an interview with the
Perhaps.
original actress, and I can't remember what she said, but I think it was something like, "Yeah, they didn't ask me to come back for it, and I don't know why." I don't know.
Mm.
So, but yeah,
Oh, it's easy.
Halloween movies, and so Halloween Town, and my wife and son watched Under Wraps.
Oh,
New
the
show
new
on,
one?
well, the new one
Yeah.
on on Disney Plus. They liked it.
Is it good? Is
They
it?
liked it. I
do you-
haven't seen it.
Oh, I just
They
wonder if
watched
my kids could watch it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll
or
let
they'd
you
be
know.
scared.
Yeah.
Well, they can watch it when you guys are up here, so you can
Oh,
send them back to the hotel scared.
They watched Nightmare Before Christmas,
Oh, they did.
and they loved
You like
it.
it?
Yes, they loved it.
Good.
But it was funny because she's scared of Haunted Mansion, the lights going out. But then they watched the Mickey Mouse Halloween Spectaculars cartoon thing, which was like, I thought was freaky. And they're like, this is so much fun. It's funny. And I'm like, that doesn't give you nightmares, but the lights turning off in the Haunted Mansion does? Okay.
Everything's more fun with Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I guess so. Chris, been streaming anything else?
I have. I've a little different. I've because it's Halloween season and everything. I typically put on a bunch of like horror movies and stuff like that, and I actually have been putting on some old Dracula movies
Oh,
that are on HBO Max. That star Peter Cushing from Star Wars, and Christopher Lee as Dracula.
Oh, cool.
So they're really kind of fun, interesting watches because they are dated, but like it's just kind of like a fun, entertaining kind of way that they do things. The horror of Dracula being the first one, and then the Dracula has risen from the grave. He comes back in the sequel, and then the third one, Dracula AD 1972.
Oh.
A little bit of electric boogaloo going on in that one.
So it's two Star Wars actors. And one plays Dracula, and one plays, what's the other one play?
Van Helsing.
Van Helsing. Oh.
Yes. And then also and actually in the first one, the horror Dracula, Michael Gough, who was Alfred Pennyworth from the Batman '89 Michael Keaton movies and stuff. He plays a character in it. And it a lot younger, so you look at him like, he looks so familiar. So kind of idea, looked him up. I was like, oh, it's Alfred, of course.
Nice.
And then also there's a Frankenstein movie on there as well, and it's Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee playing Frankenstein. That one's a lot different from the regular Frankenstein.
They just signed him to a big contract. Okay, one
just team up and do
movie you're going to play the monster, and then the next movie I'll play the monster.
Well, no, Christopher
Lee
he
plays both monsters?
Yeah, he plays both monsters. And Peter Cushing was Van Helsing in one, and then Dr. Frankenstein.
That's hilarious.
But his Dr. Frankenstein is kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
Like a horrible jerk. They went really different with that one.
Grand Moff Frankenstein.
It's Frankenstein.
Yeah, he destroys a town like in front of a lady whose town it is, and it was fire.
Oh.
He's like, "Where's your rebel base?" And then
Dantooine, they're on Dantooine.
That's why Frankenstein's afraid of fire in it, because he destroyed it.
Ray, what have you been streaming?
Well, We recently got HBO Max, so I finally got to watch Westworld season 3 because I hadn't watched it yet.
I
So,
still haven't watched it either.
yeah, and I
Is it
dug it.
is it better than season 2?
Um, I don't know. It's different than season 2. I feel like my favorite season is still the first
Oh,
season
yeah.
because it's all so new and
Yeah.
there's so many like reveals and so forth. They haven't been able to match that quite as much. But it's interesting the way it's sort of evolving and kind of moving forward. So
Yeah, I need to watch it.
definitely sets up for another season. So I think the writers and or creators were saying that they want to for sure go for and then maybe call it quits. So I don't know if the fourth season will sort of tie it up as much as you can tie this thing up. But that was cool, and I checked out Wonder Woman '84 because I hadn't watched that yet. On HBO Max. Interesting choices, we'll say. It's like I don't know that I hate this, but I don't know that I'm really liking some of this. This is just
I didn't hate it. It is different.
Yeah, it's entertaining. It's just
really
Yeah.
this is what?
Yeah, that poor guy got his body taken over. That's the weirdest choice to me.
Well, I mean, can we talk about that? I mean, it's just kind of like everybody else. It's kind of like I want a boat. Poof, I want this. Poof, and it's here, or stuff's appearing.
Oh no!
You gotta cut that out. Kids don't listen. But then, like with her wish, it was just like, why didn't he just like appear? Like,
Yeah.
just, whoop, there he is. It's just like,
Yeah.
I was expecting like, okay, well maybe he's in the body of a guy who works for the government that's going to help sneak him into, like, it's going to be a plot point.
No.
It's going to help. It was nothing. It was
Trying
on
random
his
guy.
clothes. I was just,
Yeah.
And then at the end, I was like, okay, so is she going to like hook up with this guy, like who's no longer being poltergeist by? No, that's not going to happen either.
No.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. All right. That's like a what if movie right there. What if Wonder Woman?
That was what if.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of what if,
hey,
let's get into that. Let's get into Marvel's What If, the latest show from Marvel on Disney Plus, which sort of follows Loki. Is it supposed to follow Loki? I don't understand.
Well, it's it's dealing with the multiverse.
Yeah.
Which got sort of unlocked, created.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the watcher's like, "Oh, what's this? Something new."
Something new to watch. Gets his popcorn out.
I've been on reruns for forever.
So it was, how many episodes was it? 9?
9 episodes.
Yeah, 9 episodes.
Well,
I
it's
guess
gonna be 10, but
there's a missing
one episode they couldn't get done in time.
The Gamora episode.
The Gamora episode, yeah.
COVID's.
Why didn't they just push it back until it was done? Because that was really random, where she just pops up. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that was.
Thanks. There will be spoilers if you haven't watched it. There's going to be spoilers. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I saw people talking about that. The episode that didn't make it. This is random. That I choose you. Where did you come from? Are they going to finish that episode and release it sometime?
Yes, for the next season.
So, for next season? Yeah, because they've already confirmed season 2.
Yes.
Which I'm sure it'll be a bundle.
It's hard to hide his enthusiasm.
Okay, I mean, I'll be honest right up here, right up front. It was not my favorite Marvel series so far. It wasn't horrible, but it was not my favorite.
It was your Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, it was just personally for me, and it's probably just me right now, the way life is. It was just too depressing for me. I like, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I know this is different, you have those moments of depressing things that happen, but there's always the comedy with it too. And I feel like this series is like, forget the comedy, except for the Thor episode, which was pretty funny.
I was gonna say,
Except for the Thor episode.
That was the most depressing episode.
It was just sort of like, let's get, every other multiverse is just depressing. Basically, that's what it came down to. To me, that's just me personally. There was some moments that I liked. There were some moments that I didn't like. There were some moments where I was like, well, that's not how that works. But, I guess it works like that in this universe. So anyways, we can just get right into it. We can go episode by episode like we did last week if you want to.
Sure. If you guys want to do it.
Episode 1, What If Captain Carter were the first Avenger? I feel like this episode, I don't want to, well, pretty much wrote itself. I feel like this has been around for a while.
Mm-hmm. Well, originally this Captain Carter as Captain America came about from a mobile game.
Yeah.
That me and Ryan played, Marvel's Puzzle Quest.
Yeah.
Which they'll have a ton of Marvel characters, and they'll kind of create their own kind of versions of the characters, whatever. That was like one of the first ones they did.
Yeah.
Like, basically like her as Captain America, and she's more dressed as Captain America than like, well, in this she's more Captain Britain.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. So I thought this episode was good. I mean, it gave me hope for the series when I saw it. The hope was crushed. Anyways,
there were some amazing visuals.
Yes.
That was just beautiful, beautiful shots. Which I was just like, I was watching with my son, and they did the toon shading effect, kind of the kind of a toon shading sort of, I don't know, Spider-Verse effect on there, which kind of gave it like a graphic novel sort of feel. But some of those shots, like when she's like attacking the fortress and she jumps and she's like flying across the moon and stuff like that, it's just like, wow, that's gorgeous. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, you can tell like they spent their money wisely on certain shots and really put the time into those.
They did not put their money into the lip sync because the lip sync drove me crazy.
Yeah, me as well.
Flap, 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 flap. We don't pronunciate.
Have corners on your lips? Like, can they go in and out? I don't know.
Let me see you make an ooh shit. Come on, make the ooh shit.
But that didn't bother me that much. Like, because I feel like it was part of the style. Because it's like you said, it looks like a graphic novel, and it's this unique kind of animation to me, where it was almost like they took a graphic novel and made it into a an animation, right? And it I don't know, I felt like it kind of needed to look like that because of what they were doing with it. But
it's a different.
Logic makes sense, but it's
a different multiverse.
It's where the dubbing is not great. Just kind of like our YouTube video right now is not good dubbing right now. So.
Oh, it matches up perfectly with this episode since we're talking about What If.
Exactly right.
Perfect.
Ray, can you make the ooh shape for us? This episode was fun. It was good. Basically, Carter was very much more okay with just slaughtering people left and right than Captain America.
I loved that.
They were bad.
I loved it.
You're Hydra / Nazis. You deserve it.
He was having so much fun
just
beating the crap out of people. I was laughing the whole time. Anytime there was a fight scene, I was just cracking up because it was just ridiculously funny.
The fun thing with that too is, I mean, with animation and some of the other episodes, like later on, there's like callbacks to like Captain America, Winter Soldier, and stuff like that. And it's almost like with animation, you can have even more fun with those fights where like the punches feel harder, the jumps feel a little bit more super because they don't have to put a bunch of special effects and stuff on there. So a lot of that stuff is just, it's like, wow, she is like beating the crap out of everybody. Dead. But it was pretty cool.
And then Steve, basically
Tiny Steve.
Tiny Steve gets a suit of armor. Basically, he gets an Iron Giant. Pretty much. I mean, that he lives inside.
Stark puts a suit of armor around her world.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
The episode you liked.
No, that was come on, that was cheesy. Come on.
Yeah.
And fast forwarding, we're just gonna fast forward because this goes with this episode. The end credit scene of the whole series is that suit of armor again.
Right.
So,
and then they say there was someone inside.
Yeah.
And my son was like, "It's Steve's skeleton."
Do you...
There's someone inside. Pause. And he's dead.
That's gonna be the opening of season 2. And he's dead. Do you think he could be the Bucky figure? Season 2, they revive him and he's completely off his rocker.
Well, I guess that's an interesting question, though. Is season 2 a continuation of these episodes, or is it something totally different? We don't. I mean, you assume.
Ending, it made it seem like at least that story is going to continue.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah,
because
there were some episodes where that felt like that's the end.
Yeah,
that's kind of felt like, are they going to pick this up next season? But you might be right. I mean, they may not because this is jumping around, but I mean, they've already talked about like next season, some of the new Marvel properties, like doing what ifs with them and stuff. So I don't know if they're going to shift gears and do new stories or continue these. I don't know.
What was interesting is Lego came out with at least one set. I only saw one set. It says "What If" on the box, and it was like the Hulk Iron Man suit, whatever that was.
Oh, that's from the Gamora episode.
That's from the Lost episode.
Was it?
Yeah. Because Tony was in the Hulkbuster.
Okay, never mind then.
It looks like it transformed into like a race car or something.
Yeah. Never mind.
I'm not here for you because your episode wasn't finished. I just need Gamora. Yeah, that was weird. The only other weird thing about the first episode is random giant tentacles. I mean, it was okay. It was weird. Like that's what came out. But I guess it plays into a later episode.
Yeah, you see that same creature later.
It was just weird. It's like, oh, so that's what's in there. Just a random giant tentacle.
Well, that was Red Skull's plan B, and we didn't.
Yeah.
Plan B.
Yeah, I guess so.
They did a pretty good job hitting all the beats of Captain America, and I think that was like a 30-minute, 40-minute episode. And it's like, wow, this doesn't really feel rushed, and it's like they just cut out all the filler.
Pretty much.
Character emotional moments and stuff. And it was just like boom, 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 and I was like, doing pretty good.
I did like that. Because there were some episodes to me, that felt very like rushed, or like they tried to fit too much in it. And this one, it felt very contained.
Yeah,
like, it was like basically a whole movie condensed down to what it needed to be very well.
And that's why I thought that each episode was just going to be in its own thing, and there wasn't going to be any of this coming together. I thought, oh, it's just like one-offs. You know, the next one will be something different, and then something different.
After we saw that episode on Facebook, they started doing this commercial, this like Subaru commercial or something or whatever, that showed all the characters fighting Ultron robots.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I know, like Thor like drives through this portal in the car that they're selling, and like running over a bunch of robots and like woo, like swinging his thing. I was like, okay, so they're all gonna be together in the last episode then.
That's
because I mean, that was one of the things I was enjoying throughout the series. Was I liked that, unlike like Loki or Wanda, where you're like, well, how does this connect to the MCU, and where's Mephisto and this and that and the other? It's just like each episode is like its own thing. It's in a universe unlike one that you're used to. It's like, yeah, that's cool. Some people online seem to have a problem with that. Like, he would never do that. That's out of character. It's not the universe you're used to.
What if?
So I liked all that. I was like, yeah, these are just one-offs, but then at the end it was like, we're coming together for like a big Avengers sort of. I'm like, do we need to do that? I mean, this is the team you pick.
Yeah, that's we'll
that was needed.
Was it? Yeah, what's the? I don't know. Okay, so let's move on to episode 2. Here we go.
What if T'Challa became a Star-Lord?
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
That had like it was a fun episode, but it had sadness behind it because of
Chadwick.
Chadwick
Yeah.
Boseman.
It was so great to hear him though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was really nice.
It's like, oh yes.
Yeah, it sounded like he had a lot of fun doing it too.
Yeah.
This is where the show started going downhill a little bit for me.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I didn't like Thanos in it at all. I just thought they made him too goofy. Like, I thought it was cool that he was basically redeemed, but I thought they went to the extreme with it. And he was just like, "Oh,
universe.
No. But they,
not the universe.
I know that, but they basically say that he was this evil Titan, wanted to kill mad Titan that wanted to kill everybody, and now he's like, I'm just a fun, good old sidekick buddy, and they could have still done that without making him so goofy. I thought. But this is my opinion.
Coming from, I didn't mind his character per se. The only thing that kind of like threw it a little off for me was that like his underlings could like kick the crap out of him so easily. That was the one thing from. I think they could have like they could have done it where he was like fighting off maybe more than just them. Maybe like all 4.
Yeah.
It's
because they made him goofy. He can't be strong like them if he's goofy.
Because
they made him a clown.
He didn't. He wasn't channeling the hate.
Well,
I love
hatred makes you strong.
I love that he kept trying to convince people. It's like, well, it would have worked, and it would have been, it would have been pretty cool. And they're like, oh, that sounds a lot like genocide.
Yeah.
And he's trying to like make his case.
Yeah, it was funny. I mean, it was funny. I just thought he was a little too over the top, goofy, just a little. Like they could have dialed it back a little bit, where he would maybe have that little funny, but then go back into the sort of the mad Titan and sort of have to catch himself. Like, okay, that's not me anymore.
They're preparing you for the episodes to come because they want to give you like really funny ha because they're gonna like really down later. So they wanted to.
I guess so. Maybe that's why.
Get you laughing.
I wanted to see the episode that it ends with, where Peter Quill gets visited by his dad. That's the episode I want to see. I want to see what happens there.
Well, they briefly showed.
Yeah. Briefly.
Later on that, T'Challa does come to his rescue.
Yeah.
And they end up fighting him off together.
Yeah. So. But I want to see like the full episode of that. That would be cool.
Put in your request.
Well, I mean, I would rather see that than
I'll email them now.
The goofy Thanos. That's just me. Because that would be sort of an interesting story.
I did like Korath. He was the guy that didn't know who Star-Lord was.
Yeah, now he's a big fan, super fan.
Who? Yes, he was super fan of T'Challa. Like, oh, you're Star-Lord! Oh my goodness, I love you!
That was pretty funny. See, I think maybe that was the problem. They had too much goofy in that episode because they had him and he was very goofy, and then Thanos was goofy too. If only one of them had been goofy, then maybe that would have balanced it out better. Maybe that was the problem. Yeah.
We can't all be goofy.
Well, in the 3rd episode, they heard you and they
yes.
down the goofy.
What if the world lost its mightiest heroes?
One at a time.
Yeah. Death abound.
Now, this is the mystery one, right? Yeah. I actually really like this. This is probably my favorite episode because I like mysteries. I love a good mystery, and they made this into a good mystery where you really didn't know who the actual killer was until the very end. It wasn't like, oh, it's definitely so and so. You really didn't know till the very end. So I like a good mystery. It was depressing, but I like a mystery, and this was a good mystery, I thought. So I like this episode. See, I didn't dislike all of them. So I like this one.
I did have a feeling early on that it was at least someone using Hank Pym's tech.
Yeah.
You
Just
smart.
Nice.
well, it was because the way Tony Stark died.
Yeah.
Where they gave him an injection, and then right after that he flops down dead. And so to me, it's like, okay, so someone put something in there, injected it into him, something small, something tiny. Oh, there's Ant-Man. I didn't quite know it'd be Hank Pym.
Yeah.
But I mean, it totally makes sense. In the comics, Hank Pym does go nuts at one point, and it's when he's the Yellow Jacket character.
There you go.
There you go.
He has like a mental breakdown. He basically attacks the Avengers. Like his wife, Janet Van Dyne, he attacks her. So I mean, there's precedence in the comics for him going insane and attacking people.
Yeah.
So it totally makes sense for this one.
Yeah. So I like this one.
I had to rewind when the Incredible Hulk exploded. I was like, did that just really happen?
Just happen?
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad I wasn't drinking something when I was watching it, because it would have been all over the place, you know. Cause
that was wild too that they went back into the Edward Norton.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was kind of cool.
They even had him dressed up as a pizza guy.
Yeah,
that was good. I liked that.
I'm trying to remember who survived that episode.
Well, Captain America survived, because he, like, at the very end, like Nick Fury fought them.
Who did they bring from that episode to the end?
No one.
Well, they didn't bring anybody from that episode to fight.
Oh, they did. Oh, okay.
They put Black Widow back into that timeline.
Yes.
Okay.
Brings her there because they had lost their Natasha.
Yeah.
And so that's where you see, like, because Captain America's there and Captain Marvel's there, and they're fighting off.
Yeah.
Loki's dudes. Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. I really like that episode. So there we go. Number 4. What if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? This was depressing.
This was my favorite episode.
Right. It was very depressing.
It was amazing. It could have been a movie.
It was done really well.
Yeah. I was blown away. I was like, wow, this is so cool. This could have been like a plot for a film or something where he's,
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I thought it was pretty wild.
Yeah, for me, like the effects animation in this one.
Spent some money on this one.
Oh geez, yeah, just like all the smoke and the creatures that he's enveloping and stuff. And I mean, it was done so well.
Yeah,
it was just such smooth animation.
Mm-hmm. So
it's kind of Twilight Zone-y.
Yeah.
Real quick on that, when you say they probably spent a lot of money on it, is it because of the number of frames that are in there, the number of like things they had to animate, or what do you mean?
Yeah, with all those effects. Usually, when you have a lot of effects and stuff like that, it usually makes the budget go up.
It takes a lot of computing power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because some of that stuff almost looked hand drawn. Some of the effects, but maybe they weren't. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could have been hand drawn and then digitally painted to
maybe
look more 3D. Because some of that stuff that did look hand drawn, like a lot of the smoke and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the Marvel universe, the cinematic universe, when they were talking about time travel and stuff, because I don't remember, was there stuff that couldn't be changed, or could everything be changed, but it would split off?
They mention Nexus events and things like that. I don't think something different in Loki. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But fixed points in time.
Okay. I couldn't remember if they talked about that in like the
I don't
movies.
remember fixed points
Yeah.
that could not be changed. That
I thought it
had
was always
could not
like stuff could be changed that's not supposed to be changed, but it would make an alternate,
branch reality.
yeah,
Right.
branch.
Yeah.
Because that was the only thing about
I
this
mean, I could
episode.
be
Because like,
thinking of
can he
anything.
not change it? Like, is there these fixed points that cannot be changed, whatever they do? And I was trying to think if they did that in the movies or if everything that could be changed in the movies.
Maybe they didn't do it in the movies. Maybe that was more low key.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I do that every once in a while. I have a thought.
Oh, well, good for you.
Yeah. It was great that they got a lot of the original voices for
Yeah.
this one too.
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams and Benedict Cumberbatch.
And for most of it, it seems like where they could get the actual actors, actual voices to come back. It seemed like, oh well, they're making a movie coming up, so they probably had
get 'em.
them
Yeah.
already working, so they
Mhm.
could bring them in. And then some of them, it's like, oh well, yeah, they're definitely not. There's not a movie in production right now, so it probably would be harder to get this person. So I think that played some role in who was there and who wasn't.
Yeah. It is interesting though because I thought like they were working on these a couple of years ago. I mean they've been like recorded for like a while. I mean obviously they had Chadwick. I mean that was
Yeah.
a while back. So when they were talking season 2 and when it might come on, and I thought I heard late next year. I'm like, there's no way season 2 could possibly come on next year, unless they've already been working on it and just are playing coy about, oh yeah.
You just have to draw some pictures. I mean, it's not that hard. Come on.
Oh my god.
Oh. You've been watching Mythic Quest.
Yeah, I haven't watched the Mythic Quest. Just go do that.
Press a couple buttons.
Yeah, have it to me by tomorrow.
Suit on, and you just run around, and it's done.
I'm just kidding. I know how much work it takes.
How dare you undermine?
I know how long it takes. I was joking. That's because that's what some people think. It's just like, oh, it's just you just gotta draw some pictures, but that's not how it works. Okay, what if unless you have something else for the Doctor Strange episode? It ended very, very sad. Him alone, nothing, world gone.
I mean, but it was kind of like one of those Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah.
Like, which was kind of cool, and I thought it was awesome.
It was unexpected. It was a very unexpected ending.
Yeah.
I think that was what was good about it.
What if zombie?
Yes.
Brains.
Not that I didn't like this episode, but for me, this may be my most disappointing episode. Because I don't know, because like having read some of the Marvel Zombies comics, and like being hyped, like because they really like kind of pushed this one with all this. It felt very rushed to me. It felt like they were trying to do too much. It's just I don't know. It felt a little flat. Like it was entertaining with like some of the stuff with Happy in it. I think was really funny.
Blam, blam, blam.
And then when zombie.
But also felt like they had some like kind of scary stuff in there, which was awesome.
Oh yeah.
But then they had such goofy stuff like Scott's head in a jar. I'm like, are we watching Futurama? I mean, what is this? I mean, it's like Mars attacks all of a sudden.
That there's in the comics, it wasn't his head. I think it was Janet Van Dyne's head, the Wasp. I think her head was in a thing. And in the comics, they did have Black Panther was taken kidnapped or whatever, and it was the Hank Pym zombie. Because they had more thought, they could actually think in the comics and kind of plot into stuff. So he actually like just took him and was feeding off him slowly in the comics, rather than the Vision taking him and feeding him slowly to Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. And for some reason, I thought all the heroes, for a zombie thing, they lost their brains because they were doing some stupid things. I mean, I guess it's the horror movie zombie thing. Everybody split up, All right, come on, we gotta split up.
Yeah,
Peter has no spider sense in this universe.
Yeah. Well, because it's
maybe
zombies.
he doesn't. I don't know.
Spider sense doesn't work with dead things.
Oh, okay.
This
That's some science Chris just made up.
Yeah.
And the one thing that got me is like, why did I just do that?
Yeah.
Was was the Hulk, Bruce Banner or whatever, he's being attacked by Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Wong, and then the two heralds or whatever from
Yeah.
Thanos.
Yeah.
And then suddenly this giant horde of ants comes in and eats them, and they're gone. No problem. Like, done in like 1 minute. I'm like, why aren't they just doing that with most of the zombies?
Yeah.
Like, was that all the ants in the world? Now there's no more.
They're full. They can't eat anymore.
Yeah.
And those
I did laugh though when like a giant zombie wasp like threw zombies at the plane. I thought that was pretty amazing.
I thought when she was going to turn into the giant that she'd be fine, but I didn't think the zombies would be able to have that strong of a bite or whatever to infect her. But
Tiny little bites.
I guess so. I don't know. Here's a little trivia. Oh, go ahead.
Oh.
No, go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say. I mean, she has a time limit on how big she could be, how
Yeah.
long she could be that big as well. So probably
Well, she was big at the end though, wasn't she? Throwing the zombie.
as a zombie, but that's fine then.
Oh, it's fine when she's big. Science.
That's more science.
More science. The little paper zombie at the beginning of Spider-Man's video is a nod to Mutant Enemy Productions, the company of Josh Whedon.
Oh,
yeah.
How about that?
Which I'm kind of surprised they did Josh Whedon. But
it was in the before times before.
Yeah. But yeah, that was funny. When they did that, I was like, oh, that's good. I like that.
Let's see.
And they hung their base up with Spider-Man's webbing that dissolves over time.
But not in this universe. In this
Not in this
universe,
universe.
it's forever.
Forever.
That's some science I just made up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some plot holes. I found some plot holes.
Uh-oh.
In his video,
Only
Peter says that zombies are drawn to exposed human flesh, but earlier it seemed that the zombies freely attack Iron Man, even though while wearing his armor, he has no exposed skin. Dun dun dun. Just cancel this whole episode.
Do over.
Nano armor. So I mean, that's like living armor.
Oh, okay.
Or made up science.
Nanu.
I'm here for.
So that was zombies. Number 6. What if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark?
And enacts the same plan that he did.
Yeah. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
It was fun though. I mean, another Tony Stark death.
Pretty much, yeah. What we concluded from the multiverse is that Tony Stark must die.
Dies in every universe.
Born to die.
But this was fun. I mean, like kind of seeing Killmonger in like some of the earlier Marvel Universe stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of them doing some of that. I thought it was fun.
And also, I liked how, by not going through what he went through in the normal timeline, how Tony just kind of kept doing what he was doing. Like
Yeah.
He didn't repent or have an epiphany or anything. It was just kind of like, yeah, more weapons. We're going to keep, So I was like, oh, that probably is how that would have gone down. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a good episode.
Happy enough or sad enough for you.
Yeah. It's got to have that perfect balance.
How many tattooing rhapsodies would you give that one?
Give that episode?
Yeah.
2.
2? 2 out of a potential 5?
Sure, why not? It was sort of the same story, just done a different way. Yeah. I was just reading Killmonger would be really young when Tony was attacked. But I guess
Yeah,
not
he
in this
would've
multiverse.
a lot younger. Yeah, he was born earlier.
Hey, I'm a kid.
Universe, you know.
I'm a kid. I'm here to save you.
I'm gonna shoot some people.
Yeah.
So
So
we had
that's
two
that
kills on
episode
the-
is okay. Now
Only
the next episode. What if Thor were an only child? We got a fun episode. We got a party
I love this
episode.
It was funny.
Yeah, this was a funny one.
Mhm.
I love. I think it's the stupidest part, but I think my favorite part was the tattoos that they got.
Mm.
You got the little
Oh,
the
it's
microscope tattoo.
Yeah.
But this was another one where they got so many, if not all, of like the original voices, and Chris Hemsworth was just so funny.
Yeah,
Mhm.
He did such a great job, great job with all of his lines, and
Loki
yeah,
was hilarious.
It was just goofy. It was just plain
Mhm.
old goofy, and it was awesome.
So if Loki
And it
didn't,
marks
what?
it marks the return of Natalie Portman.
Yeah,
In the Marvel Universe.
yeah.
It's true.
And we found out that if Loki stayed with the Ice Giants, he'd be a fun party guy.
Yeah, and he'd be giant.
He'd be big.
He'd
and
be
he'd be
giant.
big.
Blue.
Has he been suppressing that this whole time?
That's why he's so
He
angry.
He turns blue at one point, I think, in the first Thor movie.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And his eyes go red, but then it just goes away.
Yeah.
Maybe Frigga put a spell on? Dropping some magic
That's a
science
what
on
if
you.
right there. It's like, I'm keeping this baby, and it's not going to grow like it's supposed to. It's going to be human size.
I'll keep him in a little box. It can't grow.
Smush you down.
Yeah, it was funny seeing all the different characters come in for the party, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the wedding of Howard the Duck and what's her name gets married. They sent out a wedding invitation to that. Like it was on social media.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was on Instagram. It was everywhere. Like a wedding invitation for Howard the Duck and what's her
Darcy.
Yeah. You're cordially invited to the wedding of Howard the Duck and Darcy, whoever. Yeah.
Did you catch the line? It was kind of said like sort of off screen, but it was like the day after the party, and like Rocket's like passed out in the sink, and you hear Thor go, "Oh look, it's a little rabbit! Isn't he adorable?"
Yeah.
I was laughing and laughing and laughing.
I was too.
It was awesome.
And I liked Captain Marvel in this.
Oh.
Yeah, she was actually. Well, dude, oh my gosh, because I had just watched a thing. I don't know. I get some weird stuff come up in my YouTube recommended, and so I got well, but this was about like how to have a good attitude when you speak to people, and they had a big video about Paul Rudd and about how likable he is, and this and that and the other. And so I had watched that, and so other like Avenger videos came up, and it was like one about how to like I guess almost like piss people off, and it was all about Brie Larson, and it was talking about her going on the road, and she was on the road with with Chris Hemsworth, and I forgot his name, War Machine. They were doing interviews and stuff together, and she was just coming off sort of and so the narrator was talking about like she's doing this, she's doing that, she's giving off these cues and so forth. So the Thor episode, there just seemed to be a lot of like almost like underscoring of that kind of stuff where they're just talking about I'm more powerful than you, I'm stronger than you, and there's just a lot of I don't know. I felt like they were sort of taking some jabs at that whole Brie Larson.
A little bit.
Probably was.
But yeah, she was fun. I liked her in it. I don't know.
But no, she was super fun. I wish she was always that way.
So why did they think partying was gonna blow up the world again?
Because it blew up another world.
But did they say why actually the other world got blown up, or it was the party that blew it up? I don't remember. I have to watch it again.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but it was something the party kind of led to that world blowing up.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and I think the best part was when he realized his mom is coming, and he has to get everybody to clean everything up. That's so funny.
That was good.
It was a good episode. Wish they all could have been that good. I'm
That's
just
what
being,
you really think.
I'm just being stupid. I'm really just being stupid. It ends like very like you're all happy and you're like all fun, and then it ends with a crap moment. There goes all the fun. Ultron's here to ruin the day. Which
But
then
he
I was
does.
like, oh wait, are they actually continuing an episode? And they did. With What If Ultron won?
Yeah.
Katrin's favorite episode. He's going to tell us all about it right now.
Sorry, my audio's messing. It's been like weeks since I've watched it.
Which episode was it? Was it this episode or the next? Which one did he kill Thanos in?
He killed Thanos in this one.
In this one? Yeah. Very, very
like
easily.
Super quick.
Sliced it
Again,
in half.
just a different universe.
I guess. Like, could Vision do that?
But, I mean, technically, like, yes. I mean, because like it's he did it so quick. It's like Thanos didn't really have a moment to process what was going on, and he took out his head.
Yeah.
So he said, "Go for the head," and yeah, well, the head and everything else split it right in half.
Just zipped him.
So it was Vision's fault that in the MCU universe that everything went to pot.
Well, I mean, technically, he was attacked before Thanos came and was badly injured.
I guess.
And he couldn't phase anymore. Couldn't do much of anything.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true.
His person slicing days were over.
That wasn't like, oh, well, here we go.
And one of the people that could take out Thanos in a different What If took him out in that one. So I mean, the power levels, they work.
Yeah.
Science.
Science. I'm trying to remember what all happened in this episode because the 8 and 9 sort of run together for me.
I mean, basically, with this episode, it followed Natasha and Hawkeye in trying to basically come up with a way to stop Ultron. They brought back in Computer Stomach.
Yes. Zola.
Arnim Zola.
He finally made it. I thought Falcon Winter Soldier, he was going to come in, but no, he finally comes back. And What If?
And this does kind of lead to like, well, if he's in here and he had a backup copy in the regular MCU, he could.
Oh, he's still out
potentially
there.
Come
he's
back
still out there.
For another movie.
He's out there
because like his backup copy was in the place where Captain America: Civil War, where they go and find all the other super soldiers. Like that's where his backup copy was.
Captain America 4. Maybe we'll see him.
He's right. He's probably hanging out with Mephisto. That's what I'm thinking. Him and Mephisto are hanging out, waiting patiently to return. All right, so they don't. That's how it ends, right? With them getting the.
Well, the Watchers fight. They have a fight.
Yeah, they have a fight.
Yeah,
and they show what they show the Star Wars. Mustafar? Is this the one where they show Mustafar?
Yes, Mustafar was in there.
Yeah.
So weird.
As they're battling, they're going through other dimensions and other worlds and everything, and Mustafar is one of them.
Who had the high ground?
Oh, and it's kind of confusing because that was a long time ago.
The camera was kind of cocked, so
galaxy far, far away.
It was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Well, one Easter egg we didn't talk about in that episode 2, I think in the Collector's Vault. I don't have 100% confirmation, but I heard when there's a shot where you can see like a Nova Corps ship and whatnot, that there's like an X-wing back in there.
Yeah, I think
I'll have to go back and see. Oh yeah, that's who we didn't talk about the Collector in the episode he was in.
Collector.
Good gracious.
Yeah.
Woo!
He got jacked in that universe.
He did get jacked in that universe. So this one runs into basically the next one, the last episode. What if the Watcher broke his oath?
Ah,
Which means he got involved.
Yeah, he just wasn't watching anymore.
Yeah, he gets involved. Yeah, he's quit watching, got off the bench, joined the fight.
Mm-hmm. Like someone's trying to erase my DVR. I gotta, stop him.
Yeah.
No.
Were you surprised by the people that he chose to be
Not
the
really,
team?
because that's who we've seen in this.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only one that when he picked Killmonger, I was like, well, how's that going to work out for you?
He was in that episode. He has to be.
Well,
in
I know
this.
that, but it's like, how's he going to work with the team?
Because
Yeah.
he knew that he would betray them.
Yes, I know. But I'm saying when he was picking the people, I was like, well, why are you bothering picking him? That's not going to end well.
Kind of what we said at the top. I kind of would have preferred they didn't do a team up. I don't think it was really necessary. I kind of feel like they felt the need to have a final episode with some big showdown, and not just like, oh, another episode and then that's the end.
Yeah, I can see maybe having like a team up in season 2 working.
Sure. Like really build to it. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're really planning this and like planning a season 2, yeah, I think they could have, done the Ultron one and this one, and maybe end that episode with him kind of like discovering the multiverse, and then next season having that kind of building up through it.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been nice, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I still like this episode though.
Yeah,
they
no, it was cool.
They beat
him. Cool. I mean, the action when they're fighting Ultron in the very last episode, there's like one just long shot.
Oh yeah.
And they're like just going to town on him. I was like, that is what Age of Ultron should have been like, instead of like, let's fight an army of senseless robots. It was just them just taking turns pounding on him, and it was really cool. I enjoyed the heck out of that.
It was reminiscent of them fighting Thanos on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, don't let him think. Like,
yeah, that was awesome.
But yeah, it was done really well. Doctor Strange was the GOAT. You could that's a term I know of.
All right, explain for the kids.
Yeah. Tell us what it means.
Greatest of all time.
Oh,
I think that's what it is.
What was sorry, you brought that up. What was I watching where they said, what was that? He was like, why does it have to be a goat? Why can't it be like a lion? Because that's like more like mighty. And they're like, no, it's like an acronym.
Yeah, what was that? I don't know.
He's like, but a lion would be better. They're like, but that doesn't make sense.
It's almost like something Joey would say on Friends.
Yeah, what was?
But it wasn't that.
Was that a Mythic Quest? No.
It may have. I don't remember. It was in something I watched recently, and I thought that was so funny.
I remember that too, but I don't remember what it was. But yeah, I mean, he's just like he just like was taking Ultron on just like by himself for a good amount of it, and every other character would have been dead several times, if not.
Yeah, that's pretty cool when he realizes too that, wait a second, you're the one that's keeping all these people alive.
Yeah,
I just
got to take you out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun, a little behind the scenes for the actor that played Ultron was Ross Marquand. He is also the person that took over Red Skull.
Yeah.
In the Avengers movie.
Okay.
Because he does a lot of good voices, like a lot of impressions of various other actors. Like I would recommend like going on YouTube and looking up him doing impressions, because a lot of them are just spot on.
Was he Red Skull in the first episode?
He might have been. Like I don't see why they wouldn't have used him if they used him for this.
Yeah. Nice.
I'll have to look that up. But yeah, he's really good. He was saw him on. What was the first thing I saw him on? The zombie show.
Yeah, Walking Dead.
Okay.
Oh, so Lake Bell.
He's really good.
I was looking at the people. Lake Bell.
Yeah, he also did. Right. Yeah, Lake Bell's great. She's a really good voice actress.
And then, of course,
he was Red Skull.
Yeah. This episode brought back Batroc.
Yes. Yeah.
The Leaper, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's where there was a little bit of Captain America Winter Soldier in there.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of jumping out of the plane, landing, getting on the boat, and doing all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I felt the putting Black Widow. I didn't feel like we were with her enough to really care that I'm not going back to that world. I was like, what world are you from again? Which one? Oh, are you the zombie? No. Yeah. Oh right, yeah, the Ultrons. So they put her back in that timeline. Like, which timeline are we back? Oh wait, there's all the Lokis. Oh, okay, this is. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it went over my head too.
Yeah, it took a minute to.
I thought it was the zombies one too.
I was like, oh, they're gonna put her in the regular MCU because we lost Natasha.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope. Let's talk Infinity Stones for a moment before we wrap this up. Because in this episode, we find out that in every universe, they work differently.
Well, there's a different frequency, a different.
It's convenient.
Science!
I mean, hey, if you look at Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse as a reference, like each character, like they're on like their own kind of different frequency in their own multiverse in their universe, where they're like fritzing out and doing things. So,
but they can still use
like
the same powers.
Yeah, they're still similar. Some it could have been different. Maybe the Mind Stone is red in this one. Like, I don't know.
How much did Marvel pay you to say all
that? I got a lot of hue lights.
I mean, do you think that was a good plot point, or do you think that was a cop out, or do you think?
Well, the cruncher won't crunch these ones because it's built in another universe.
No, it's supposed to be either universes or universe, right?
And I'm just talking. I'm not saying that that's what I think. I just,
I didn't mind it.
Things work differently here.
It was a nice little surprise because I mean, you kind of felt like it was done at that point.
Yeah.
But then he rose up with it. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
But so could you take a crystal from this universe and then pair it with a crystal from this universe and everything will work? Or if you put them together, are they going to fritz out and explode?
Depends on the universe, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a what if episode about the stones next week.
And do you think that
what if you took a green one from this universe and a green one from this universe?
Yeah. Do you think we're to the point, like this is the MacGuffin of Marvel now, where it's just like, you gotta throw the Infinity Stones in there? Or do you think we're to the point where, okay, let's move on from the Infinity Stones?
I feel like we're moving on from the Infinity Stones. Yeah. Like, I think it played a role in this because it was what if, so they're doing a lot of what if based on like this first movies and what you know. But yeah, with Loki, where they're just like, oh well, the Infinity Stones just are paperweights here.
Yeah. And that was great because I mean the Infinity Stones in the MCU was such this big thing, so to have them be just used as like a joke like that, like they're nothing.
Yeah, they got something.
They were something.
I looked up the definition of MacGuffin to make sure I used it right just now. I did use it right.
A golfer from the 1980s.
No. It's an object or device in a movie or book that serves merely as a trigger for the plot.
Yeah, I believe was it Spielberg and George Lucas really made that.
Yeah.
Every Indiana Jones movie they talk about it heavily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was something I watched recently. I can't remember what it was, but
the first person to use it as a word for a plot device was Alfred Hitchcock.
Yes, for the Falcon.
He borrowed it from an old Shaggy Dog story in which some passengers on a train interrogate a fellow passenger carrying a large, strange-looking package. The more you know. Put the rainbow going across. Anyways, so do you think that that's become the MacGuffin of the Marvel Universe when they need a plot to work or something? Throw in the Infinity Stones, and You think we'll see him
Moving
again after
forward,
this?
Moving forward, probably not so much.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm ready to move on.
Yeah. But like
And
Chris was saying, I mean, this was all sort of based on the movies we're all familiar with. So
Yeah.
as new movies come out and they start moving more into the Kang and so forth, they'll probably be
Yeah.
What if Kang
Yeah.
had the Infinity Stone?
yeah, it'll be more like Shang-Chi. What if the rings were slap bracelets?
Maybe. But of course, in the Doctor Strange trailer, he still has the eye of whatever around his neck, which contained an Infinity Stone. So
Agamotto. Which the only thing I think of that is like, and I think I've mentioned it before, is maybe that the Eye of Agamotto like absorbed like some of the energy from that, and it has like the ability to affect time in slight ways.
I think he keeps breath mints in there.
Probably. Tic Tacs.
Yeah, little Altoids. He's kind of.
I have Agamotto.
Does this little thing, takes one, fresh, closes back up.
Oh, MacGuffin was in the Haunted Mansion. Thank you, Vance. MacGuffin up.
That's what it was. That's what I watched. There was a character.
He owns
the
Haunted
magician.
Mansion. Yeah, the MacGuffin.
That's right.
I explained that to my wife, and she's like, "Why do you know these things?"
Because I do.
Yeah. That's all we have. Useless knowledge.
Like I tell you about something that you need to do, and you totally forget about it. But this you remember. Like,
Oh, yeah. Right there with you. So overall, well, how do you think moving forward for season 2 with that end credit scene? Is that going to play a big part, or is that just she's going to have her man back?
I feel like they'll do another episode with her. I kind of hope the next season doesn't all link up. But I feel like they're going to continue hers.
Yeah.
In another episode.
Yeah.
I think they
sort
of have to.
Through lines. I mean, obviously, T'Challa as Star-Lord, they probably will not.
Yeah, won't do that one again.
Yeah.
I mean, there could, and you never know. I mean, if it runs for several seasons, they could maybe Party Thor pops back up in season 3 or something, or pops up in someone else's episode. I don't know. I mean, there's lots of possibilities there. Kind of like what they do with the movies, with different characters popping up in other people's movies. They could do something similar, where characters from season 1 pop up in other people's episodes of season 2. But I hope they don't have a big come together fight or some overarching story. I just like the one and done sort of thing.
Like Star Wars Visions.
Like Star Wars Visions, right? Nothing's connected, and some of them leave you wanting more, and some of them are like, "Oh, that was kind of cool," and I'm probably good not seeing anymore.
Yeah.
Tatooine Rhapsody. Do they play another concert? I must know.
You'll never know.
Does the album go gold? Platinum?
They're playing for Jabba. Will they play for Vader?
Goes Beskar. The album goes Beskar.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
All right. Well, that's been What If. It had its good moments and its depressing moments and its what the heck moments.
What if moments?
What if Ryan liked season 2?
What if? We won't know until it comes out and I watch it.
You can theorize.
He breaks his oath to watch it.
The internet will be a buzz.
I watch it. I mean, I watched all these, even though depressing. Maybe next season will be a little more balanced out. But who knows what's gonna happen between now and then in the MCU? Who knows? What if?
I
don't know. Anyways, Ray, thank you again for coming on.
Of course.
I don't know what our next roundtable will be.
I don't know. Hawkeye?
Maybe Hawkeye. Get the Eternals coming out.
Eternals.
Shang-Chi will come out to
Yeah.
Disney Plus.
Yeah. I got to catch up on all these Marvel things coming out. All the movies. I haven't been to the movie theater in
2 years?
Yeah, a long time.
Likewise.
I keep thinking I'm gonna go but I haven't yet.
Yeah. Spider-Man might be the one that gets me to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might get me. It might get me.
Yeah. I'll probably go at like 10 in the morning and reserve the back row recliner seats.
It's the whole back row.
I'm gonna buy out the theater for just me and my family.
Our theater's pretty well spaced. We've been to a couple movies, and it's, I didn't realize how well spaced they were, and like you have this huge amount of space between you and the next row in front of you, and then behind you, of course. So I don't, and then nobody sat beside us because nobody's going. So it's like I didn't feel like it was that bad. It's like
is it a Cinemark or an AMC or local?
Malco.
Never heard of that one.
It's a Mid-South thing.
Huh.
So,
Okay.
Malco.
I don't think
Malco.
that's real.
Yeah. Is that your living room?
It's like a fake company that you'd see in some TV show or something.
Welcome to Malco Theaters. Make sure you grab your
Style.
Malco
Jiffy
Coke.
Fudge.
Gator's not happy.
We believe you.
It's real. It's real. We believe you.
Or
Best theater
what
in the world.
if Katrin is in a different multiverse where Malco is the AMC of movie theaters there?
it's just what we have.
Get off my back.
It's not a big deal.
Shows movies, okay?
The fresh maker.
I do see the poster on your wall. It says the haunted apartment, where in our universe it should say the haunted mansion.
Oh my god! This is Liberty Circle. Oh god!
Wouldn't that be so funny though if this whole time, 212 episodes, Katrin was in an alternate universe?
I mean, sometimes I feel like I am.
Maybe that's why his microphone has eyeballs, because their technology is living and breathing.
His microphone is alive.
Their sound is actually sight.
Oh.
What?
What if? Can you do it in the voice, the what if voice? What if?
I'm the watcher.
Time.
I'm the watcher.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Let's do some watching.
Today.
I got my popcorn. I got sandals.
Gosh. All right. I think that's a good time to wrap it up. Next week, guess what? Guess what?
Oh, guess what is the new show?
No, guess what next week?
Guess what?
Yeah. What if? Guess what?
The DC version.
Yes, the DC version. It's really bad.
It's not so great.
Guess what? Everyone's sad.
Now, guess what? If it was DC's version, the first episode would be extremely well done and very good. And then the rest of the episodes would just be like, did they change producers and writers? Is this a clown show? What is happening here?
Guess what? My mom's name is Martha.
Oh, man. Anyways, okay, so next week, iamGEEK
Starting now.
officially begins. Are we going? Y'all, Vance wants to know the return of Skelehost. Fingers crossed.
Have to tune in to see.
Finger bones crossed.
Please get Chris off there and bring on Skelehost.
Can we just all be Skelehost this year?
We can.
That would be incredible.
I don't have a skeleton,
so.
but
I have one.
I could get one, maybe. Oh,
There we-
there should be one. Are they in your closet? No.
Pick them up from the backyard.
They're at the dinner table.
Maybe we should all just be monsters or creatures.
They're at his Costco movie theater or whatever it's called.
It's Costco movie.
Wow.
I think it was Malco.
Malco.
You know,
Get it right.
Alpo.
Science high.
Alpo. Dog food.
Alpo movie theater. You can bring your dog. Watch a movie with them. All the movies are in black and white, though.
Because they are
Yeah. See, there's a dog.
Oh, they can't see color.
Yeah. They can actually see some colors. Anyways, science. Anyways, yes, Vance is very excessive skeleton this year. Anyways, okay, so Skelehost may be back. I may be going to, hopefully, I've been invited.
Ooh.
Because we're a podcast, I guess. To
a famous podcast.
A fame. To let me make sure I get the name right.
Good.
We're good.
Well, I haven't been yet, so all right, here it is. Terror Isle Haunted Attraction. Houston area's only pirate themed haunted house.
Ooh.
It looks amazing. It looks like it's on the level of some of the big dogs like Howl-O-Scream and stuff.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I've messaged I asked them a question because they have a escape room that's opening up. But I found out that for the haunt season, this is their first year, I guess. They have the haunted attraction where supposedly it's very detailed. And then when that's over, they convert the building that they have into escape rooms, pirate themed escape rooms. So it still has like all the props and stuff of this haunted attraction. And but you're in, and he said one of the escape rooms, like at least one of them, has like 5 or 6 rooms that you go through.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
You have more than an hour?
I don't know.
For 7 days.
Yeah, maybe so. But he invited me down to check it out for the show. So I'm trying to look at dates. So I'm hoping maybe I could go this weekend, maybe. And then next week, that could be something we can talk about too, as well as Skelehost.
You could broadcast from there.
Oh, I
all the rooms.
Ryan,
just
are
back
you
and
there?
Yeah.
Stop crying. I've been here for hours. I can't get out of here.
It looks really cool. You can visit the website. Terrorisle.com.
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 I had to eat the parrot.
Walk the path of the doomed pirate raid at fateful night. Encounters spectral pirates, zombies, hellhounds, and creatures from the deep as you try to survive the night. That's pretty cool.
Shouldn't be hellfishes.
Maybe.
Dolphins.
Maybe. No, they're the clown. They're the clowns of the sea. So I'm excited to hopefully get to go. I want to go back when they have the escape rooms because I'm all about the escape room. But yeah, so I'm going to check that out. So if you're in the Houston area, you should check it out. Texas City is where it's at.
Texas City.
Is that real?
Yeah, it's a real place. They have that's where Malco originated from.
City in Texas.
Yeah, Texas City. Yeah, it's like
names, huh?
It's like south of Houston area.
Kansas did it too, right?
Yeah.
It's like how every other street around here is called Beltline.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so next week, Skelehost will hopefully be here. We'll have some other Halloween. I may be in live with Skelehost next week. I don't know yet.
Oh dear.
We're working out the details because we're going. No, not next week.
Not next week.
2 weeks from now. If Skelehost is around, yeah. The weekend of Halloween, I'm going to be in Dallas.
Oh, nice.
McKinney.
Mm-hmm.
So, just for like the weekend. Our mom's birthday. She wants all of us to get together.
Mm-hmm.
So, fun times will be had.
Good.
Chris didn't want my whole family staying at his house for some reason. But
So I don't know why.
Well, we'll probably go out to eat.
Zoning.
It's fine. We'll go out to eat together.
Their HOA is
We'll probably
ridiculous.
maybe we'll go catch a movie at the local Malco. Never know. Anyways,
Caitron's. This is Caitron's last episode.
oh no. Chris has been like texting me all these things for us to do. One thing he texted me, I'm like, is this the best thing to do during a pandemic? And it made me laugh, but also very sad. He said, there's a trick or treat. What is it? Was it a...
It's a little kid's trick or treat thing, but it's at like an old folks home.
Yeah.
Oh, go.
So send all the unvaccinated children into the old folks.
I mean,
To me, I found it like very
They've got long
odd.
lives.
yeah, we're running.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't know. And there's dinosaurs in there too. So we may not there, but a different place in McKinney.
At the nursing home?
yeah, dinosaurs.
Well,
Really old people.
Kind of a derogatory term.
No.
Oh.
So we may go.
Bears?
Anyways,
Ah.
there's all these cool things that Chris has been finding to do. So I guess he's going to have this whole itinerary set up for us. Looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
I sent you a bunch of stuff. You picked what you're gonna do.
Anyways, okay, we've been on an hour and a half tonight. It's been fun.
Wow.
I hope Catrins had fun.
What if you guys wrap it up?
What if? Here we go. So this has been episode 212 of iamGEEK, and we'll be back with you next week with something new, something fun, and of course, something geeky. See you next week.
What?